Want to have your clip featured in the Skyrim Clip of the Week? Simply record the clip on your Xbox and then send it to me via message. My gamertag is iRyeni, that's IRYENI, and then you can message it to me over Xbox and I'll be able to view it. I look forward to seeing the clips that you guys send me. Now moving on to the video. Hey, what's up guys, it's Ryan, and welcome back to another episode of Modded Monday. We're on week number 257 now, guys. I've picked out 5 new mods for you guys to check out and perhaps add them to your load order if you find them interesting. But like always, before we jump into them, I want to remind you guys that I'm partnered with GamerSupps, which in my opinion is the best energy drink on the market. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, be sure to check out the link in the description where you can go to their store page, and you can also use the code RTD for a 10% discount on all your purchases. I also want to say, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any brand new mods each and every single week. Now that all that's out of the way, we can jump into this week's mods. And starting us off, we have a very beautiful player home called the Cumbria House. Now the mod page reads that this is a beautiful lakeside player home on the western tip of Lake Ilanata with easy access to Falkreath Hold, Whiterun Hold, and the Reach. It features a living room, kitchen, dining room, alchemy and enchanting nook, a master bedroom with an office, a follower bedroom, a bathroom, and a cellar on the inside. It also has a conservatory, a hunting deck, a garden, a dock, an outhouse, a dining area on the outside, and a spacious crafting area too. Now to actually get access to this house, you'll have to open the lockbox beside the front door, and you could read the note to learn that there's a large and troublesome slaughterfish that swallowed the key, and you have to kill him to get the key back. Now this is actually a very tough and powerful slaughterfish, as you saw in the beginning there, so it will take a little bit of time to kill him because he does have a lot of health, but that's actually how you get into the house. He swallowed the key, so you have to loot it off his corpse, and then you'll have full access to the house. Most of the interior decorations are static, but there's still some movable objects, crafting stations, containers, and display areas to use, and the house will also be auto-marked on your map upon installation. They highly recommend using happy little trees to reinforce that forest feel, and the Anniversary Edition is recommended but not required, and it now features a fast travel boat to the Whiterun Jetty, so you can fast travel from, your house to Whiterun, or from Whiterun to the house like I did in the beginning there. And with Whiterun being the city that I travel to the most in my playthroughs, I found this to be incredibly useful because once I'm done exploring or cave diving or whatever I'm getting into, I can go back to my house, store all my goods away, and then anything I want to sell, I can just take my jetty all the way back to Whiterun and just sell it right off there. And as you can see, this is an absolutely beautiful player home on the inside and outside. I think the decoration was done really well and there's no wasted space at all. And the fact that it's still a small player home and there really isn't too much to go around, there's no loading doors to go through to, get to your crafting station or anything like that. It's all in one cell, and you guys know how I love my small player home, so this is definitely why it's featured here at a number 5 spot. So if you're looking for a brand new beautiful player home to call home, I would strongly recommend downloading the Cumbria House and becoming its proud new owner. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we have a mod that aims to remove all the generic signs in Skyrim and make them feel absolutely unique. This is LH's Unique Shop Signs mod, and the mod page reads that after a long journey into Skyrim's world, I found that all the stores and shops have the same boring patterns and textures, so I decided to make my own. But not only that, each store, each inn, each tavern, everything has a unique sign now. And you can see this as I'm going around and showing you some of the new signs that you can see with this mod installed, and I think they're absolutely beautiful. In our previous load order we were using a mod by El Sopa that changed every single sign to be, unique, but this is a brand new take on these designs. And these also come in 2K and 4K resolution, depending on how much memory space you have in your load order and, the look that you're going for there. I just really like these types of mods because the mod creator here is absolutely right. Whenever you're going around and, exploring the cities in Skyrim and seeing what kind of shops are around, all the generic stores just feel extremely samey. They all have the same sign out front, and it doesn't really feel like any personality was put into this, but that's where this mod steps in. It makes every single shop and inn and, tavern that you go into feel absolutely unique. So that's definitely why this mod's featured here at a number 4 spot, so I'd strongly recommend downloading LH's Unique Shop Signs mod and giving it a try for yourself. Coming in at the number 3 spot, we have a new mod that allows you to travel to space in Skyrim. Yeah, you heard me correctly. This is the Aethernautics, a space travel mod, and it's a new and improved version of the TrainWiz Classic mod, and the mod page reads, "Visit to Aetherius occur less frequently than to Oblivion. For the void is a long expanse, and only the stars offer a portal to the ethereal travel, or the judicious use of magic. The expeditions of the Remen dynasty and the Sunbirds of Alinor are the most famous attempts in our histories, and it's a cosmic irony that both of them were eventually dissolved for the same reason. The untenable expenditures required to reach magic by Magicka. Though thought impossible by lesser minds, the study and practice of travels to other realms via physical travel was long ago practiced by the great races of old. To them it was known as Aethernautics, but to us it's known as space travel. While time has done its work on the Altmer and Imperials, their ancient starships lost to history and apathy. There have emerged rumors of a third race, the Dwemer, and their lost practices. They say deep in the mountains lies an enormous ruin holding a fantastic ship capable of traveling to other worlds. And to an adventurer worthy enough to fight their way through the defenses of this lost and complex and reactivate this machine, it would be an unimaginable treasure. The last Aether ship, a worthy prize for a mage and warrior and thief alike." Now, the features of this mod include a large open dungeon for the player to explore, filled with traps, lava, and a new type of Centurion to fight. There's an unmarked quest to discover and reactivate the lost Aether ship, and a new type of weapon. Now, once you reactivate the ship, you can feel free to use it as your own. It comes complete with cargo and docking bays, engineering and maintenance shaft, weapons system, and even a full bridge with a captain's chair. The ship can also be used as a player home and a quarters provided with basic services, and you also have the ability to use your ship to call down orbital strikes, you have the ability to use your ship to travel to other planes, and you get your very own space helmet and spacesuit, courtesy of the last Dwemer Aethernauts. Now, this is an amazing quest, and I love the fact that it's unmarked too, so you have to do a bunch of reading and, actually make the discovery for yourself in order how to put the ship back together and fuel it up and actually get it to take off. And this is absolutely huge. I mean, you take this little lift down and it really shows you where the Aether ship is just standing there, and this dungeon is just absolutely massive, so it'll take you a while to actually see everything it has to offer because there's so much content included here. New enemies to fight, new weapons to find, and an actual spaceship that you can take off and actually control for yourself. There's so much to explore whenever it comes to this mod, so if you're looking to travel into space in your next playthrough, then the Aethernautics, a space travel mod, is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out. So go download it and become a true Aethernaut for yourself. Coming in at the number 2 spot, we have a mod that was requested by several of you guys to cover on the channel here. This is a brand new armor pack that covers all of the weapons, armors, and more. This is the Divergence Vanilla Pack all-in-one. And the mod page reads that Divergence is an armor, weapons, and clothing recoloring mod, and it's inspired by variations. It was started with the goal of giving the Creation Club content a recoloring treatment, and it quickly evolved into a project targeting all vanilla content as well, which is absolutely ambitious, but they actually put it together here and made everything change in Skyrim. This is pretty much a brand new game whenever it comes to its equipment that you can find, and while sticking to some of the vanilla colors as a base, Divergence aims to create contrast and vibrancy throughout Skyrim, thus being significantly different to vanilla in many cases. The base game files were fairly inconsistent with their diffuse sizes and colors, and this mod stepped in and fixed it all for them. Dwarven items, for example, weren't all the same shade of yellow or even the same brightness. Another example is the Elven items. Now with Divergence, all items were color corrected to match among similar materials, cleaned and upscaled to 4K resolutions. And whenever I said earlier that this covers everything in Skyrim, it truly covers everything in Skyrim. I mean, there's a huge list on here. We have the Blades, the Bone Crowns, Daedric, Dark Brotherhood, Dragonbone, the Dragon Priest Masks, the Dragon Scale Armor, Draugr, Dwarven, Ebony Mail, Ebony Armor, Elven, Falmer Armor, Forsworn, Fur, Guards, General Tullius, Glass Hide, Imperial Iron, Leather, Nightingale, Nordplate, Orcish, Saver's Hide, Steel, Thieves Guild, Wolf. There's so many different armors that are covered here, but it doesn't just cover the armors, it also covers the clothing as well, such as the Archmage robes, barkeepers, beggars, blacksmiths, chefs, children's clothing, common clothes, the Dark Brotherhood robes, Emperor clothing, fine clothes, the Mage Apprentice journeyman, miner, monks, Mythic Dawn robes, necromancers, prisoners, and more. Even the wedding dress dresses are covered in here too, but this isn't just an armor and clothing mod, it also covers all the weapons too. So every single category that I said for armor, you know, blades, daedric, and more, all of those ones that I said earlier are also covered by their weapons too. So there's no stone unturned whenever it comes to what this mod covers. It covers absolutely everything in Skyrim, so if you're looking for a brand new take on the vanilla Skyrim, and I really like that by the way, there's so many mods out there that go way above and beyond and actually change what all the vanilla armors look like in Skyrim, but this actually sticks to vanilla, just makes a bunch of color corrections and upscales it up to 4K so it actually fits, you know, in the 2022 theme here. So if you really like the vanilla textures of all the armor, weapons, and clothing in Skyrim, and you just want to see them upscaled and brought into a new light and actually reimagined here, then the Divergence Vanilla Pack All-in-One is definitely a mod I'd recommend checking out because it covers all of this all into one simple mod, coming in at 553.06 megabytes. So I'd strongly recommend downloading Divergence and giving it a try for yourself. Coming in at the number 1 spot this week, we have a mod that I covered in the past, but recently got a huge update and it is now an all-in-one mod here. This is SNRP Parts1-3 All-in-One. And if you remember a couple weeks back, I covered SNRP Parts 1 and 2 at the number 1 spot of a previous episode, and this is a huge graphical overhaul just like Skyland, but it covers everything that you could possibly imagine with brand new textures. Now, we actually just covered parts 1 and 2 of SNRP in that one episode that we covered a while back, but now there's a whole third part that features a bunch of landscape changes. This includes all of the landscape textures, including DLCs, 2K mountains, diffuse snow textures, and the blended roads retexture. And if you guys aren't familiar with what 1 and 2 do, part 1 of SNRP is the architecture, so this features the Falmer Hut, tents, farmhouses, High Hrothgar, Markarth, Riften, the Skyhaven Temple, Solitude, Sovngarde, Whiterun, Windhelm, Winterhold, Fort Dawnguard, Snow Elf Ruins, the Soul Cairn, Raven Rock, and more. And then part 2 you have dungeons, which equals mines, caves, imperial forts and dungeons, Nordic ruins, Dwemer ruins, rataways, ships and boats, ruins and clutter, and more. Just like I said with the Divergence Vanilla Pack at the number 2 spot, there's no stone unturned whenever it comes to the textures that are actually covered in SNRP, and I'm super excited to bring it back onto the channel again because whenever I did cover it in a previous episode, it was 2 separate mods that you had to download separately, but now they have not only parts 1 and 2 that we covered in that episode, but now part 3, which is those landscape textures, all jam-packed into one mod here, so you'll only need one texture mod to cover all of your Skyrim, and that's the SNRP Parts1-3 All-in-One. All of this comes in at 998.35 megabytes, so it is a very large mod, but like I said, this is the only texture mod that you're going to need because it includes absolutely everything in Skyrim. And all these textures look amazing, as you can see as I'm walking around and showing you some of these new textures. Everything looks incredibly different, and I for one have been using Skyland for so very long, and I love Skyland. I wouldn't have been using it this long if I didn't love it, but it is nice to see something new once in a while, and you can definitely see this as I'm walking around here that everything is completely changed, and I think it'll really make for a hard decision in our next load order that we build. Should we use SNRP Parts1-3 All-in-One or Skyland All-in-One? But either way, I'm extremely excited to see that SNRP has an all-in-one mod now that comes in at just under a gigabyte, and you could just download this one only and have all of your textures covered. I think that's absolutely amazing. So if you're looking to completely retexture everything that Skyrim has to offer, I'd strongly recommend downloading the SNRP Parts1-3 All-in-One mod and giving it a try for yourself and exploring some of these brand new areas as well. So that's pretty much it for this week's episode of the top 5 Skyrim mods of the week. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, I'd appreciate it if you left a like and subscribe if you're new. It really helps me out a lot. And if you have any suggestions for mods you'd like me to cover in future top 5 mod episodes, be sure to let me know in the comment section below, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'll be sure to leave my Twitter in the description, and you guys can follow me on there and leave me suggestions there as well. Special shout out to my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys have done for me. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later.